every city that he went to, he had to go into the synagogue. He went into the synagogue and he preached there. But his schedule was not such, his agenda was not such that it ruled him. That it ruled him because he knew who he was here for. Why he was here. He was here for people. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. For God so loved the people that he had created that he sent his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him. How is he going to minister to the people if he's walking past the people to get to the synagogue? That's not what he did. In the fulfillment of God's purpose, God manifests his glory in us and through us. The way he did through Jesus, in Jesus and through Jesus. God let people know, this is my Son with whom I am well pleased. And that, yes, he is the way, the truth, and the life. He is by him, through him, you can have relationship with me. Now let's think about this principle of on the way. Because we know that a lot of the encounters that we had. But let's put actual accounts to the principle of on the way. Think of some of the people that Jesus ministered to, healed, or got the chance to teach, or even just witnessed to on the way. There was Jairus' daughter. Just got in town. Jairus meets him. Sir, my daughter's sick, and can you come help me out? He was on the way somewhere. On the way to healing Jairus' daughter, the woman with the issue of blood pulls on his coat while he was on the way to do that. Blind Bartimaeus. Jesus was on the way somewhere. Blind Bartimaeus heard him coming, and he yelled out. And they tried to silence him, and he yelled out even louder. But he was on the way. The 10 lepers. Jesus was traveling on the way somewhere. And he encounters 10 lepers, and he heals them. Only one comes back to say thank you. But he was on the way somewhere. Even the demon-possessed Gadarene man. Jesus couldn't even get out of the boat. He wasn't even out of the boat good. And the demon that tormented this man, why have you come to torment us? Jesus hadn't even got out of the boat yet. He had left somewhere else and was on his way to another place, and he didn't even get out of the boat good. And the Gadarene man with a legion of demons inside was healed, was delivered. Zacchaeus. We all remember Zacchaeus, the tax collector. Was vertically challenged. couldn't get a good view of Jesus because Jesus was on his way somewhere. So Zacchaeus climbed a tree. He got Jesus' attention. Jesus, come down, Zacchaeus, for I will sup with you tonight. Wherever Jesus was on his way to had to wait because this tax collector now had his attention. Because he supped with this tax collector. Spent time with this tax collector. This looked upon. Tax collectors were not highly looked upon in that time. Because a good many of them were crooked. They were overtaxing the people. They were telling the people that they owed. If somebody owed, just as an example, $10, the tax collector would say, you owe 20. Put 10 in here, 10 in his pocket. There was a tax collector for this region. He's getting pretty rich off those people. He's getting pretty rich off of those people. And the people knew it, and there wasn't anything they knew. They knew. So this looked down upon person was attending to. Jesus had just invited himself to Zacchaeus' house. Jesus was on the way somewhere else. But on the way had to wait so that he could sup with Zacchaeus and Zacchaeus' friends. Zacchaeus is the tax collector friends and all his other friends and hung out with him. Then we have the woman at the well. Jesus was on his way somewhere else. He said, I must needs go through Samaria. Culturally, this was unacceptable. Because Jews did not associate with the people of Samaria. Samaria had a bad reputation. Samaritans, they were looked down upon by the Jews. So in their travels, Samaria was here. They would go out of their way not to go through Samaria. But Jesus said, I must needs go through there. And on his way, he stopped for water and he encountered that woman at the well. Because he encountered that woman at the well, because he ministered to her, because he loved her, because he had compassion on her, even though she was a very sinful woman. I'll say very sinful because her sin was so much greater than anybody else's. No, but he told her what her situation was. He was able to tell her what her situation was. And even today, a woman in that situation would be looked down upon because it's frowned upon. It's so frowned upon. And he wasn't even really supposed to even be talking to her. Because she was a woman, because she was a Samaritan. So Jesus was breaking all the rules. On the way somewhere else. And because Jesus took time to talk to this woman on the way somewhere else, an entire town heard the gospel. Because she heard the truth. And that wasn't enough. She ran back to town to tell, there's a man. I heard a man. And he told me my situation. But when he told me my situation, he didn't condemn me. When he told me my situation, he didn't make fun of me. He didn't call me out of my name. He didn't shun me. But the way he spoke to me, there was so much love in it. There was so much compassion in it. You have to come hear this man. And so they came and they heard. Because of this woman whom Jesus spoke to on the way somewhere else. On the way. This is so, it's just, whenever we drive, we've driven across country a few times as a family. Me being the driver, I don't get to look and sightsee the way everybody else does. I can glance or I can look, but I don't get to sight. I don't get to notice things like everybody else does. Because I have to concentrate on the road. But everybody else, they can look and see the greenery, the deep blue colors of a lake that we drive by, or the giant cross, the stations at a cross, all the things that you can see as a passenger that just go along, but the driver has to concentrate. Look at oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that was nice, but you don't get to just look around and notice the things on the way. We don't get to notice those things as the driver. You don't get to notice on the way. And even driving somewhere and then coming back the other way, things look a little bit different. Because you see the other side. That's why things look a little bit different. But it's still the things that you notice and don't notice on the way. Another example is if you drive back and forth to a place, and then suddenly you have to walk to that place. Because you're walking, you'll notice more things. You're going slower. You don't have to concentrate on driving the way you do. You're going slower. You're able to notice more things on the way because you're going slower. Because you're not having to concentrate on the road. You're going slower. So you get to notice things. Wow, that's a pretty tree. I never knew that it had those kind of flowers growing on it. That's so nice. The going down Ann Road, they have these cactus structures, and I've driven by them several times. But the other day, or it was a couple weeks ago, I stopped. I was going that way, and traffic was kind of backed up, and I was sitting right next to that one of those cactus structures. This thing is made of metal and full of rocks. I didn't even know. I'm like, whoa! Many times as I've driven by that thing, on the way somewhere else, but I can't pay attention to it because I'm driving and but